Yeah, so we've got three routes, as you say. There's a university route, which is the more traditional route. There's an apprenticeship route, and then there's a sort of a self-funded private route. So if we take the university route first, for all of those level six qualifications, the university route typically charges somewhere between 18 and £27,000 for the total qualification, which works out somewhere between 6,000 and 9,000 a year. And with the university route, that is upfront payment. So you are paying investment right up front. So whether it's your employer or yourself, you're doing that from day one. And within that sense as well, that's kind of one of the disadvantages, is that we often get asked what happens if a learner leaves. Well, if you're on a university route, the money's already paid and upfront. The other sort of downside of the university route is that it is very much lecturer led. So you're there and you're taking the information from that expert, but they don't really get the chance to apply it directly to your business and you as the individual. So you lose some of that connectivity to what's being taught.
Okay, so this sounds like the next route then is probably the favoured route, the apprenticeship route, which is government funded where eligible. Talk us through that.
Yeah, so apprenticeships, I think most people think they're for the youngsters of the world. It is not always the case. Anyone is eligible to take part in an apprenticeship. The apprenticeship have funding bands, and they're set by the Department for Education. And they typically go up to, I think it's 22,000 at the moment is the highest band for a degree level qualification. But that doesn't mean that the employer or the individual is paying that £22,000. There is funding from the government available for that. And that very much depends on whether you're a levy-paying company or not. And I say some people are not quite sure on that. But the parameters are, if you're a levy-paying company and you have funds in your levy pot, then the qualification can be fully funded. So all of those degree level qualifications could be at zero cost to the employer. If you aren't a levy paying company, then actually you have to pay 5% of the contribution. So if you take that £22,000, then that means it's £1,100 for the employer to contribute maximum, and that's based on the learner not having any prior learning or qualifications that sort of would reduce that cost.
So, and that leaves the commercial route. Always an option, not favoured. Talk us through that.
Yeah, so I know that there's people that I've worked with that privately funded their own growth because an employer won't. It's still available out there. There are the degree qualifications there. The costs tend to be slightly less. They're very much depending on the provider on that one. Duration will be the same, but it's normally the delivery method that changes, and it tends to be more self-taught. You might have someone that will check in, sort of a tutor that checks in with your progress, but it is very reliant on the learner to be able to go in, learn the material, and learn how to apply it in their own world without that much support.